You live. Thank goodness. I'm live too. Let's live together. I I've been really enjoying as much as I enjoy touching a little bit more specifically on the physics, the metaphysics of reality with you. It's been good convos, and I feel like the world is prepping for greater bands of awareness. Like, did you know that the Pentagon released definitive like admission of not aliens at least, but UFOs? Yeah, it's like obviously, but that's always like irked me on like a social, cultural, like fucking confusion. I never understood how we could be so sure that people are not telling the truth if they believe they're telling the truth. It's like, why? How can we deny like aliens, for instance, when and what are aliens? That doesn't matter. How can we deny whatever entity um, qualifies as what we contextually define as aliens, uh, with so many different reports of extra normal experiences? Like, what does it mean to write that off as not real? It's like, well, not real. It's obviously real. It's real to that person. It could be a real lie. But eventually, don't we have to admit that it's really something? Now, it might not be aliens, but what the fuck are aliens? It's just another kind of identity label for um, like a supernormal experience. But primarily, it's like how do we just write off people's opinions as not true because we don't have them? You know, opinions, experiences. How do we write people's experiences off as like not real just because we can't relate to them? I never got that. But I have always had a adversarial relationship with lying. Uh, my I come from something of a family of liars. My father is like a I don't want to say pathological. That's better. I could say that. He's a pathological liar. Um, and I used to lie about going to school because I fucking hated it, so I'd skip it. I was really good at it. And I'd lie about going to school. Oh, and I'd lie about smoking marijuana as like a 17-year-old. And I got found out by telling the truth. One day I was like, I'm just sick of the lies. So I told the truth. And after that day, not only did I get like, there was like, it's like, just tell the truth, Elliot. Just tell the truth. It'll be okay if you just tell the truth. So I told the truth. And it was not okay. They lied to me. Further, I was this great liar. It's like, oh, can't trust what Elliot says. It's like, I lie about one thing. One thing. I've never lied about anything else ever. But it really traumatized me. Or rather, like, I wasn't a liar really before that. But I then identified what lying was, and I really didn't. And then I was like faced with, like in my face, faced within my face. Why not? Uh, I kind of talked about it. I think maybe in yesterday's share, maybe the day before. I think the day before with imprisonment. Like I've stood before people and have them like I'm like speak about me in the third person to others, just lying, like really boldly and really awfully about me to them, and other people eat it up, which I'm only really now connecting is like, who the fuck all of you. That's how I felt anyways, and that's was the end result of like my subconscious assertion of like sovereignty and like need for love that I wasn't getting. But if you can all believe such lies, none of you know me, you know? And that doesn't hurt now because, like I said, like I subconsciously like really understood that, but putting into words, fuckers. Because I don't get lying. I don't get it. It's never served me, and it's never served those that have lied in my life experience. But there's this huge, massive cultural deception. I think it's like really like indoctrinated in mainstream media. Like it's in like all the like coming of age movies, and it's in tons of shows, but they play it off as so normal that I don't get it. And I'm like, it's not even just media, because I've been like subject to that pain with girlfriends and other liars. Whatever, it's truth. It's like I didn't want to tell you, blah blah blah, blah because I didn't want to hurt you. Like I just watched the end of season 4 of Supergirl, for instance, and spoiler alert, hardly. It just creates some context, which is helpful, I think, because it's just like, what the fuck? That makes no sense. It actually made me go, no, this is obnoxious. We've got to talk about this just a little bit. It's not a really long conversation, because it's kind of like once you said it, it's like, yeah, it's been said. But it's worth mentioning, I think, at least among ourselves, because what's unconscious can trick us, can create mistakes, you know? What's subconscious can be taken for granted, and we can not realize sometimes opportunities for consciously shifting behavior, or consciously healing, or consciously saying no, or consciously saying yes, as opposed to having our intuition, our subconscious kind of be responsible for that. Like Supergirl, right? So she's got a secret identity, and a bunch of her friends fucking know. It's like Superman. It's like, who knows your Superman? One person. Okay, 2. Supergirl. How many people know your secret identity? Well, this person, that person, that person, this person, that person. I'm like, I love the like, and I'm not being facetious. I really love like the different needs and the different like expressions of like gender energies, and like yang yin yin yang reflections. It's so novel. I love it. But anyways, so she's keeping her secret identity from like one of her very best friends, It's Lena Luthor, Lex's sister, who is played by, I don't know, this actress that I love. She was Morgana in Merlin, so you can tell I've got a thing. If a girl is like woman, whatever, I'm a boy, so I say girl, fuck you. It's like it's like chilling with like a friend. Like I've got a type. It's like a girl like kicks ass. She's like badass. Like you're so hot. You're my favorite. She's got like a bit of like a cool streak, like a cruel even streak of like appropriateness. I'm like, yeah, man, you're wicked. Also, dark hair tends to be my thing, but I'll be honest. I'm a lover. Pretty easy when it comes to good people. I digress. But she's kept her secret identity from her because for her own good. You know, she's like, I'd love for her to know, but she's not family. She didn't just find out by accident, so I can't take it back. And she's a person of influence. She's got like power, you know, and if she knows who I am, then that knowledge can be used against her to hurt her, right? If somebody else finds out that she knows my secret identity, but they don't, they can use her. It's not like she's like some nobody chilling in a cottage in a forest. It's like, oh yeah, she knows, but no one knows her. She's like a world leader, like a private world leader, which makes her especially susceptible to not just progress, but private vulnerability. And anyway, so it's like it makes sense. Like she's not lying about to her, right? It's like I don't know if how your kind of experiences with fiction and whatnot, but there's a reason you don't go around telling everybody in this world that like, hey, I'm a hero. It's like heroes get killed and they get stabbed in the back, but not before they watch their family be used against them. You know? And it kills her because keeping secrets from people that you love always kills you. Always. And there's a difference between not telling someone something because they won't understand and not telling someone something because you think that they won't understand. That's a bit of like a tangent, but it's worth mentioning because not telling someone something because they won't understand necessitates you trying to tell them, and there being like a limit of their understanding that they will not let you pass. When you try and pass it, when you try and go in different ways to make them understand, to get to like the greater understanding that would elucidate your secret, and they stop you, period. And their understanding only stops when they don't want to understand. It's not they're incapable of understanding. They don't want to. Which obviously hurts the secret keeper, but that's life sometimes. Or a lot of times. And then there's keeping a secret because you don't think that they'll understand. And if you keep a secret because you don't think that they'll understand, you don't know that they won't understand, and you haven't tried that they won't understand. And that's really just a cop-out for not confessing something that you think is hard to do. Maybe blah, blah, blah. There's a whole range of why someone has information that they don't want the whole world to know. I'm not a big fan of secrets, but I'm a huge fan of private information. Another really great movie on Netflix, if you haven't checked it out, is called Anon. It's one of my favorite movies. It has to do with privacy. And just imagine like you've got a camera in your eye, and everybody does. And they're born like it's done when you're like born, so the whole world sees you, or whatever, and it sees everything you do. and blah 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 plot. But at the end, the lead, there's two leads, and the lead antagonist, I would say, she's not the villain. She's like the anti-hero, which is a kind of hero. Her and the hero are kind of talking. And he's like, I don't get it. Like, what do you got? Do you have something to hide? Why don't you care if like people have access to your information? And she's like, it's not that I have anything to hide. It's just that I don't have anything that I want you to know. And I've always loved that, because I got nothing to hide. I have no secrets. But that's not the same as me wanting you to know everything. Especially not like posted on some fucking wall, Facebook my dick. You know what I mean? Like, it's information, knowledge, awareness that comes from questions, that comes from care, that comes from like gates and boundaries that are developed through relationship and constructive events of like understanding. Not here, this is information about me, because information about you is never you. You can't write a book about all the things you know and have that book replace you. You can't write a book about everything you know and have that book and have someone read that book and be like, and think that they know you, because they don't. It's the furthest thing from the truth. Truly. And as soon as you write something down, it's in the past. It's dead. It's gone. It doesn't mean it's not useful for whatever purpose, but it can never convey the truth of something living and flowing like through and with the cosmos in time. Something that I heard recently too, which I thought was really cute, because I'm a nerd, so this is cute to me. It's like people like talk a lot about time travel, but like all time travel is space travel. Like the Earth, the solar system is like spiraling through space. So at any given time, like if you travel through time, it's not you can be on the Earth still, but the Earth isn't in the same place where it was in the universe that it was at whatever time, forward or back, it doesn't fucking matter. So all time travel is space travel. Well, when I was born here on Earth, but I wasn't born here in this galaxy, like where the galaxy is now. It was like wherever it was, like almost 35 years ago. My birthday's in a few weeks. Which for the first time I'm kind of dreading. Like actually for the first time, and not because I'm getting older, but whatever, man. I don't want to get fucking, I don't want to bring myself down. So we'll talk about that another time. Maybe. Because not everything I fucking want you to know without asking. I feel like we've built up an environment of understanding for me to kind of round back towards the hook. Like, don't. So, anyways, she's about to tell Supergirl or whatever. She's about to tell two occasions. She's like, there's this crazy occasion, and she was in danger as her alter ego, but she wasn't really in danger. But her friend thought she was in danger, so she was worried. And she turned around. She's about to tell her. She's like, you don't have to worry about me. And while she's doing that, she's like, her friend's got her back turned, and she's talking about how she can't trust this person. She can't trust this person. She can't trust this person. And so Supergirl like puts her glasses back on because that's all she's like, I'm going to tell you the truth now. Takes off her glasses. And that's all. And put her hands on her hips. Oh. I love it. I love it. You know, it's like, if I take my glasses off and put my hands on the hips, if you turn around, you will unmistakably know this whole time I'm Supergirl. I love it. Not because it's stupid, but because like, yeah, man. What, you don't need to cover your face. You just need like an alter ego. It's so cute. Anyways. And so she's like, and then she ends up obviously with like, at least I can trust you. You know, you've always had integrity. And instead of being like, yeah, and you're going to turn around and now I'm going to tell you about how I withheld this information from you, but this is the truth, is like a maintenance and a sustaining, like it's a further expression of my integrity. She fails, she falters, and she doesn't, because it'll be for the girl's sake. It's like, oh, I don't want to, you've been through so much already. This is what they say. You've been through so much already. You don't want to put her through more. Now, like at the season end or whatever, she finds out. And the way she finds out is maniacally or like malefically. It's manipulated. She's psychologically manipulated to find this. As she finds out this information, she finds it out in a way that where her emotions are manipulated to feel like she's being betrayed, instead of like a great sacrifice has been made for her sake, for the love. And that decision was made before, like it was like, I loved you, that's why I made the decision as a friend. And then so much shit has happened. It's like, wow, you know what? Like, I have a sister, but in a way, you and I are kind of closer. And that's saying a lot, you know? And like, high forward in space and time, like it wasn't that way before, but it is this way now. And at this point, you knowing or not knowing is not going to put you in any more or less danger. In fact, it might put you in more danger to not know, which is part of the reason she was going to tell her. And this is like every movie, every television show. It happens all the time in media, and like, unfortunately, in our everyday lives. Like, if you've ever had a boyfriend or a girlfriend that's cheated on you, why didn't you just tell me you didn't want to like be with me? Or like, why didn't you just tell me like, hey, there's this person and we have this chemistry, I don't know, but like, this is what's happening. I didn't want to hurt you. You know, because in their head, they maybe found themselves in a relationship where the other person cares for them more than they care for them, or something like that. I don't know. I have to imagine it because it makes no sense. And the excuses people can give are just that. I don't know how I don't know how I'm really feeling. I don't know. Of course you know. Everybody knows how they feel if they're asked to describe it. You just don't want to tell me because you think it's going to hurt. But the truth is, you don't give a fuck, really, about how I'm going to feel more than what you have to deal with because of the way that you feel. I hope that anything that I've just said kind of touched on a personal experience of yours, because that's more important than all the fake ways that the television shows kind of portray it, because it's always like a fake crisis to resolve too, right? Like the beginning of a movie, beginning of, it's like, oh, we're not going to tell this person something, and then they're going to tell them, and eventually, then the moral of the story is you should tell the truth. Well, yeah, but it's not even like you skip that part because it's not a lesson. That's self-evident. We're teaching people that sometimes it's okay to not tell somebody the truth for their own sake. And it's never okay to not tell the truth for their own sake. Yeah, but if they really knew da 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 da, then they'd be, yeah, but is it the truth? Yeah, but they're already going through so much. So they probably could handle anything if they've already evidenced that they're quite strong and able to deal with their real life. It never does anybody any favors to lie, to spare someone feeling what they would be feeling if they knew the truth. Because that creates, never mind like the metaphysics of it, but you're creating this false, like, you're creating a false reality that when this person finds out the truth, because they will, absolutely, people always find out the truth. And if they don't find out the truth the way that it's like, oh, but the details never fucking matter. I need a fucking vacation from the city. Everything. Anyways, I don't think there's much more to say about that. Just that we see it all the time in media and in our lives. And I just wanted to speak to it for a second because it's the stupidest thing I've ever. It's like, that's not even interesting television. Oh, let her just enjoy the night. You never postpone, you can never postpone the truth with less impact. Like, let her just enjoy the night. You tell them tomorrow, you rob them of the night of enjoyment, right? Like they will now forever look back at that night and be like, that's the night that I wasn't told, that I was lied to, or I could have known and I didn't. And it doesn't matter really what happens now. It matters how you remember it, which is how we can heal our past. We can heal and be whoever we want to be. We are free from our past, because when you look at your past differently, your past appears different. And that's how you can change your past. And also, I want to just say, like, there's also, it's also, I've already said it, but it's worth saying again. No one is ever under any obligation to express their truth, like arbitrarily. It's a fine line. And the fine line, you walk it with your intuition, which is a combination of your reason, your love. Whereas intellect would be a combination of your reason and your logic. One is not better than the other, because wisdom without logic is just as dangerous as intellect without love, which is why they're different things. Like, say you have this friend, you don't really like them, you tolerate them. You don't have to tell them that you don't really like them. As so long as when you're engaging with them, you are honest with how you treat them. You don't, like, if you're not an asshole, you're not, just because, like, you don't have to be an asshole to not like someone and still treat them decently. I don't know if that made sense, but you know what I mean? Like, just because you don't like someone doesn't mean you have to be an asshole to them. Treating someone decently doesn't mean you have to like them. You can not like someone and still treat them decently. And there's no, it's not loving to be like, oh, and also, by the way, I don't really like you. Unless they push the subject. Then you're like, it's not a secret. I can tell you. Just because you have feelings don't mean you have to share them. It's when you've got that voice inside you, that's your voice, being like, I need to say this, or this person should know or could know. And when that voice is saying, yeah, but they've already gone through so much, that's not love. You're not sparing anybody anything. You're lying to them. Yeah, but if I really told them, they know. They know. You can't tell anybody anything new. You know, they could be hiding it from themselves. They could be denying it. But chances are, part of their denial is the fact that, like, they're not being told the truth, so they have to they have to rationalize it. I think that's it. I wish I was in a more entertaining / fun-loving mood. I'm just not. But I love you, and I always appreciate our time together. I hope that everything keeps getting better for all of us. I'll talk to you later. Maybe I'll feel, I don't know. I don't, maybe anything. I don't know. But when I do, I'll tell you. Have a great, always.